What is going on, guys? Today I thought, what's better to do a best meta player in each position, just because this is now going to be the final one until we get into FC 25 and we start all over again. Let me know down below if you are still playing. Are you still grinding these games out, the evolutions, the objectives? Leave a comment down below and let's get into it. We're going to pick pretty much one per each position. We're going to try and go for at least one of everybody, and then we might have some on the bench as well. So let's go ahead and make this into like a 4-3-3. We got one. We'll go like that, a 4-3-3, so we can have a CDM, a centre mid, and a cam, and then we'll obviously put some on the bench as well. As keepers goes, then we've pretty much got everybody now that I don't think there's going to be anybody that upsets this. I am very surprised when we do look at the overall of players, because when we look at the likes of an Mbappe, we look at the likes of a Bellingham, I am very surprised we haven't got a 99. I don't think it would make that much difference, to be honest. Like, if you're looking for FC 25 coins, LootBar started their first subscription service. You can go onto their website and subscribe for FC 25 coins, and with this you'll be sent an email that gives you an extra 5% off on your very first order. This is in addition to the 8% off coupon that is available on your one order to start with. Then from there, you have got LootBar being one of the cheapest in FC 24, and then continuing to be one of the cheapest on the market for FC 25. So if you need to subscribe for coins, head over to lootbar.gg and get your coins now. Make sure to use the promo code JT11. Ronaldinho, I'm surprised that we didn't get a final top tier of them, but I suppose it really doesn't make that much of a difference for a lot of them. Like, for instance, with Mbappe, in real kind of aspect of him, he's absolutely fine as he is. He's maybe not a 5-5, which I think is probably the only benefit you'd get. He's got the finesse shot. Maybe he could have had a rapid, but realistically, he's still up there as one of, if not the best striker in the game, period. Like that's just natural. But it's nice that they have given us a lot of 99s, to be honest. That's a decent thing that we have got. Like what we've got, 10, 20... 25, 6, 7, 8. We've got 28 99s plus then any of the extra evolutions. I know we've got 2 silvers that you can do all the way to 99, and a couple of other evolutions that you might have been able to do earlier on in the game and that sort of thing. So we've got a good unit of them. So let's go for keepers first then. When it comes to keepers, I definitely think there's a few that you could go for now. Fotheringham, other than being the only 99 goalkeeper, I don't think he's what I personally would go with. I think for me, it's definitely between the option of Schmeichel or Cech. Now, probably rating-wise more so than anything, I've been a massive fan of Schmeichel this year. I think he's been incredible from the greats of the game. He's managed to do quite a few games for me, and I definitely stick him in the net. But I do think when we look at the likes of Courtois, when we see some of the others, they are, without a shadow of a doubt, a goalkeeper that could go in net for you. You look at Casillas, incredible. I think Martinez isn't a bad keeper. Pickford, I think, is decent, but again, it all depends on what you're looking for. I think 6'1" for me is just a little bit too small for a goalie, but you can make it work. Courtois is obviously going to be another massive one that you can go for. Even Donnarumma this year still is a keeper that could do you the numbers there. When it comes to right backs, I think that it's easy, to be honest. You have got the likes of Carvajal. Lucy Bronze, definitely not a bad card, but not quite in the category of what we're looking for. Wan-Bissaka had a really nice footies upgrade. Again, one that's definitely not talked about enough, but the stats are outstanding for him. And then he's got the decent playstyle pluses as well. Rapid, slide tackle, anticipate, and jockey. That one for me is one of the ones that really was close to going into my number 1 spot. Walker is definitely a tried classic from his Path to Glory days. And then you've got the likes of Trent, you've got Battle, Navas, you go a bit further down with James and Kimmich. But the main ones are going to be in the right wing-back spot. And you've obviously got the likes of Frimpong, you've got Klaus, Carfu, Dumfries. And even then you've got then going a bit further back to the other Carfu and Frimpong. But personally, my favourite, it would definitely be a toss-up between Frimpong, Carfu, and then obviously Wan-Bissaka. But Frimpong being 99 for me is definitely the one. Even then, intercept, quick step, whipped pass, and pinged pass are definitely some of my fan favourites that really work well with this card. So it was an obvious going to be 99, but I am a big fan this year. Left back wise, we've obviously again got a lot of good choices. I do find that the left hand side really had got a nice selection. The left mid, left wing and left backs have really been on fire this year. So they have been some of the best ones we've seen, period, to be honest. So you have got the likes of Rolfo, a classic throughout the game. Sakina is the only left back 99 at the moment. Theo Hernandez, Califoria. You've obviously got Ferland Mendy, who has been dynamite this year with the upgrades that he's had. And then you've got the likes of Capdevia, who got there in the end. They eventually got their upgrades. I think one that's been a little bit poor for me is Roberto Carlos. I think this year he's definitely not been in the question as much as he should have been. Lizarazu, very a good one this year, and the same as Grimaldo. But I do think it's an easy option for me. You've got two, and I personally would say Ferland Mendy from my team point of view. But realistically, it has to be Theo Hernandez. Like, genuinely, from his team of the season, every single card he's got, he has been absolutely incredible. So he is definitely my personal fan favourite. When it comes to centre-backs, I think there's no arguing really that Virgil van Dijk has just got to have the number one centre-back spot. Again, with him, it doesn't matter what position, what type of card, that he gets. He's incredible. He managed to get the first 99 as a centre-back, as a defender as well, I think. And he's just been absolutely loving it. If you've got this card, you are laughing. And I think I'm still rocking the red team of the season, but regardless, I still think you could probably get away with his gold at this point. Generally, that is how good he is. Other 99s, we have two more. We have obviously De Ligt as an SBC. Very nice SBC, but nothing too crazy with him. I think he's just a standard good centre-back. Lucio is definitely been a fan favourite for a couple of years now. And then you've got the likes of Rio Ferdinand, Bobby Moore, who had a beautiful upgrade. Saliba, who definitely deserved a 99. Again, it was a shame with the Path to Glories that they didn't take them one step further, so it's why we see Theo Hernandez without a 99, we see Mbappe without one, Bellingham without one. It is that reason, I believe, so they've kind of used that or utilised that as a point to not give them the 99, so they can then spread it to other players as well, which is fair enough. I don't think there's been a major issue with that. Renard's been great from Team of the Year as well. We then have the likes of Ruben Diaz, Carlos Alberto, Arejo's had a cracking year, Blanc is always good, Vidic as well. Even the company has had a massive glow up again. Konate, Bastoni was one that I was expecting to get a footies because his team of the season was incredible. Very solid defender. Surprised they didn't take him one step further. And same with Maldini as well. Even though he did get a great to the game, I was shocked that they didn't go one step further with him, seeing as though he was a 96. Like, there's still a few ratings where it could have been an upgrade for him, but unfortunately they didn't bother with that, and that's just kind of our loss more so than anything. And as you go further down, you've got centre backs you can use, like Benusi, Marquinhos are decent, but realistically we're looking at the top of the top here. So if it's an argument for the second spot in a centre back, the main ones that I would say have a run in would be Rio Ferdinand, maybe De Ligt, but I'm kind of saying he's a bit under these. Lucio, Saliba, Rio, and Militao. Them four are my personal favourites when it comes to being in that top of the top. And personally for me, if I was looking at one that I'm like, yes, I think it has to be Saliba. Saliba has been incredible this year, and I think the Playstyle Pluses really help him with this card. Jockey, Anticipate, Slide Tackle, Aerial. You've got your heading down, your slide tackling down, your actual defensive prowess down, and then the Jockey being quick as well. I think for me that is a great combination. That back line is just disgusting. I've only just realised French, Dutch just works out perfectly. Now, CDM is definitely one where you've got a lot of arguments. And I think, for me, I've already got my number one shout here. And I don't think there's really room to argue. I do think there's still very good cards in these positions. Like, obviously, I always say whenever talking about Lahm, Zanetti, even to some case Desai, and then the likes of when Blanc was in a cam, I much prefer them as a CDM. Mascherano, for rather than a centre-back, CDM works really well. And I do like that they've gone really full ham with his CDM card at the end. 99, fantastic. You have got the likes of Conte, back to the best, which is what exactly we want to see. 97 on the pace, just an absolute outstanding card again. So that one's definitely got a big one. Camavinga, Valverde, two incredible ones. Obviously, Yaya Toure is up there with the best of them. Same as the Rodri card. I think Rodri and Rice, Rodri definitely feels a lot better from his upgrade. I do think now, looking at the upgrade of the man of the match for them specific games, Rice got dealt a rubbish hand. Didn't get an extra playstyle plus, didn't get any skill move or weak foot upgrade, and he got literally a +1 stats. I think they could have really gone a little bit more. If they knew that they weren't doing a footage for him, it would have just made sense to at least give him that quadruple playstyle plus like Rodri. So that is a shame. Tchouameni had a cracking year this year. Ramirez, a little bit underwhelming. Not going to lie, I thought he would be better. He definitely, from the start of footage, because he was like Team 1, he definitely had a nice glow up then. But once we got to the end, I felt like he would have been used a lot more. But my number one shout for this CDM role, he is in centre mid, but he's a definite CDM. You have got no arguments, but Patrick Vieira is that position. He just clearly is. He is just incredible. When it comes to him, he's a 4-star, 5-star. Stats are all there. Playstyle pluses are all there. He is just solidified in that CDM role. And I think centre mid as well. We've got a lot of nice options. They've really gone kind of heavy on them 99s from Beckham, Sauer, Pedri, De Paul, Putellas, and Enzo Fernandez, mixing in a few 98s with Bonmati, Grace and McAllister, and then we've still got some incredible talent as we go through this list, from Fabian Ruiz, Llorente, Goretzka, Gerrard, into De Jong. There's a lot of options here that not everybody is going to have the same players, and to be honest, you don't need them because there is so many stats that you could easily go with a David Beckham and a De Paul link up. You could put Enzo and Sauer together. There is so many ways to go with this end team. It is all just fan favourites. And as good as a lot of these centre mids are, for me, there's always one, and it goes back to a pure meta system, and it always has to be Hullet. I don't think there's many, if any, better in that centre mid role than our boy Hullet. He could play CDM, centre mid, cam, striker, centre forward. Whatever you put him in that mid, he is going to thrive and normally be one of the best in that position. I think especially in like a CDM to cam basis, there's very few that are better in every one of them attributes. So like a box to box, for instance, like Vieira is arguably better as the CDM role, but as an overall box-to-box and cam, I think Hullet has it. Whereas then you look at someone like a Verts as a 99 cam. I think he's probably better as a specific cam, but as just an out-and-out midfielder, Hullet in a centre mid works wonders. So then we look at the cams. This is going to have David Beckham in it as well, because obviously, as much as they've really kind of gone down the box-to-box route, he is more of a cam than anything. Whereas then you look at like someone like Sauer, 99 on the dribbling, defending, 92 shooting. I do think when we're looking at that, more of a box-to-box. Same as De Paul. Putellas, kind of more of a cam as well, I suppose. 99 on the shooting, passing, 98 dribbling, but only 85 defending. Makes sense that she is definitely more towards that cam aspect. And again, I think there's arguments for a lot of people. I think Verts is incredible. Bellingham is just nuts in himself as well. Again, another card that would have really benefited from a 5-5, especially because I think Bellingham is definitely worked more towards a box-to-box. And then you've got the likes of Zidane, Musiala, De Bruyne. De Bruyne this year, I've very rarely used him. It's a shame. He's always came that little bit too late. And by then, I've either got a player that is enough in that position, or I've just not been lucky enough to pack him yet. Then you've got like Bobby Charlton, you've got Goulet, Simons, some of the cards that are definitely going to be coming in the next year as well, and then even a Schneider. But I think we all know who's going in that cam role. It's got to be Pele. As much as he can play in a definite few different roles, Cam is going to suit him down to the ground with the talent that we have got in that striking role. If we then look into the right wings, there's going to be, again, just numerous amounts of talent. 98 on Saka, another one that I think deserved the 99 in my opinion. Again, he did get it from the Path to Glory, so unfortunately just didn't upgrade him one more. Dembele, been a fan favourite of mine. Obviously, Salah's managed to clinch into that 99, and of course, Hansen, her team of the year was just exquisite. Then you've got the likes of Georgie Best, Al Waran, you got a few more of the others. You're definitely not going to forget about Barcola. His SBC at 100k was one of the best we've seen so far, especially at an end game meta. You've also then got the likes of Diane coming in right at the end with the season, and then you got the likes of Doku. He's kind of gone a bit quiet at the moment, but Doku is still there for a massive 97 rated. But for me, there is an easy one for this. I've loved him from the very start of the game, and yes, these 99s are incredible, but Dembele is just something special. The 5-5 in him, the rapid, the finesse, the whipped pass, and a first touch. For me, he's my sort of winger. Very tricky, very quick, great on the shooting, and he's got himself the left foot for the cutting as well. It's a perfect position for me, and he can play across the board, which is absolutely on my level. Left wing gets a little bit more tricky because there is a lot of options here. From the 99s of Son, Neymar, Swanson, you've then got the other Brazilians in Rivaldo and Ronaldinho. You've got my boy Rashi. You've got a bit of Zaha, who's definitely not to be laughed at. Diaz, Ferran Torres. You go a bit further down for the other Brazilian that is Vinicius Jr. Gakpo, Martinelli, Leao obviously coming in, Kvaratskhelia, and also Ansu and Garnacho. Don't know why I couldn't say that right. Then we've still got Ribery, Park Ji-sung, DeMarco, Nico Williams. Nico Williams is I feel like it's going to have something to do next year. It'll be a very interesting one nonetheless. The one thing I want to know, I cannot remember, did Neymar have... Not Neymar, Vinny, it was just the 96. So in terms of this, I think there's always going to be one answer, or at least two separate. It's really, for me, an argument between Neymar and Ronaldinho. They, again, are very much like Dembele in my options, or Dembele's like them. They are my sort of wingers. Tricky, pace, got a great shot on them, both with the finesse. And both of them have got relatively similar playstyle pluses. Now, obviously, Neymar does technically have the better ones. Both of them quick step finesse, but he has the whipped pass rather than the dead ball. So you could argue between them. And also a big kind of factor for them, no 5-star for Ronaldinho. Has to be a 5-4, whereas Neymar has the 5-5 as well. So I think for me, if Ronaldinho got that 5-5 and was a 99, he would definitely be in that spot for me. But Neymar has got to take that spot. Now, strikers, honestly, we've already kind of gone over it. I am just going to put Mbappe in there straight away. And we'll kind of go over some of the top ones in there. Because I don't think there's any argument for Mbappe at all. But there is definitely people that are very close. 99, Ronaldo, Haaland, Ham, Messi, Morgan, I'd say. Then you've got the likes of Ronaldo, Cruyff, Eto'o is up there. They are all, and even Smith, to be honest, they are all very, very close to Mbappe. And some, you might argue, that are better. You might have a different opinion, but I do think, for me, Mbappe is clear on this game by an absolute landslide. Also did miss out on Ginola. So I do think when it comes to the striking portion, we've got so many options that you could literally be happy without an Mbappe. Like, I'm still yet to pack an Mbappe. We've managed to get his SBC one, was it? Where is it? We got the Player of the Month as a 92. That guy literally carried the whole year. He got a red and he's managed to just carry on all the way through. So it is just at that point that Mbappe is just clearing himself. And we've had so many incredible cards this year. Like we said, 27, or I think I said 27, 99 cards. I'd love to see the comparison to other years, because I swear last year I don't think we had nearly half of that, to be honest. And even then, you look at the 98s from Nkunku, Olmo, you look at the icons, you've got Pop. I know that we didn't get females last year, so unfortunately there's going to be a double amount, so we wouldn't be able to categorize that against other years. But it's very interesting to see the ratings that we're going to now, that they're giving them to not necessarily anybody, but they're definitely bringing up more cards at the same time. They might not rush to get ourselves another extra bonus on Mbappe to make him 99, but then they make 2 or 3 other cards that are probably a 90 at best into that 99 fold or that 98 fold. And it's nice to see that even though we're clicking down now, we're still in the 97s. It is incredible with what they've done in terms of ratings, and I think they finish off very well, and I'm going to be very interested to see where they go in this next year. We've got 2 weeks or so, or just under, till we get the game out. It's going to be very interesting going from all of these high rateds. Like, we're still at 97 all the way down to the bog standard ratings, but there has been some incredible memories in this game. That for me would be the final best team I'd go for. Now, it's not necessarily balanced, obviously we're trying to get one per position, but that would be my best players in each position. Let me know if you would change anybody, and have you managed to get any of the big boys yet? Catch you all for the next one. Peace.